Welcome back to the platform of Royal Phoenix Rising. Hope all is well with everyone. As you all can see, today we are out here at the lake. This is where I come to ground myself. I want to thank you all for joining me again. And today we're going to do a continuation. But before we do that, as I always do, I would like to give honor and gratitude to my ancestors, the Creator, my spirit guides, and the cosmos for allowing me to be a living testament. I humbly thank and appreciate you, and I love you. Ashe. So, today we're doing things a bit different. I hope I'm not speaking too low. I'm just like really trying to balance my emotions. I've been through a lot this morning trying to get here. Just a lot of small things, petty things, and I almost did not even come. And then I started recording, and then I get a phone call. And I'm just like really trying to just stay calm. So, this is where I come. As you can see, we are at the lake, as I mentioned. This is where I come to ground myself. Whenever I feel the need to ground myself, I come here because water helps me do so. I'm a water goddess. My element is water. Water is healing for me and rejuvenating also. So I got my little munchkin out here too. He's gonna start asking for things. And where is he? Oh, there you go. Angel, get out of the sun. Go back over there and sit down. So what we're gonna do now, big there. Now I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak about. I'm gonna continue with where we left off last time. Okay. And yeah, I had to get out of the sun. Okay. So we're gonna pick up where we left off last time in the last video. And in the last video, I spoke about it. Ended again with me as soon as I got to the book Think and Grow Riches. So 2013 is when this all occurred. No, 2014 beginning. I got kicked out of home the end of 2013 in December. And when I got introduced to the book Think and Grow Riches, it was 2014 beginning. Okay, so I was living with my brothers, and how was it living with them? It was first of all, when I first got there, I felt as if my brothers laid out the ground rules, but I felt unwanted. Like they really did not want me there, and they didn't. There was a 1-bedroom apartment. One of them slept in the living room, and the other one slept in the bedroom. But then, because I'm the only feminine, they allowed me to sleep in the room. At first, I was sleeping in the room. So when I moved there, I felt unwanted. We didn't even communicate much. I kept to myself. I would always be in the room listening to my music on my laptop. In the beginning days, I felt as if I was being a burden unto them. you know. So I would keep busy by, being outdoors. By me coming into the book Think and Grow Riches, that during that period I was spending a lot of time outdoors, also looking for jobs. There are many doors has closed, not even closed, slammed in my face. I've experienced thousands of doors slamming in my face. So during this period of me looking for a job, and I came into, someone introduced to me the book Think and Grow Riches. It allowed me to see the broader picture of what I was experiencing. And it was also mentioned in the book itself what I was experiencing, the doors being closed and, things as such. I began to really spend a lot of time in nature. Then I was having an awakening. I didn't know that. But my intuition was leading me to be outdoors in nature. And where I would go, I would walk around town. And I would also go to the beach. I would spend a lot of time at the beach. And then I had a digital camera. So I took many pictures, so many pictures. I took so many pictures of nature and myself. I have a lot of memories from that period, from that time period. And being out in nature, it gave me a sense of calmness, a sense of understanding, a sense of groundness. My shortcoming during this period was Nice Guy. I was smoking Nice Guy. I began in my town. So when I moved, I would be out, I would smoke, listen to music, and pretty much be attentive to Mother Nature. I spent a lot of time thinking, visualizing my future, my success. I wasn't drinking then. I also forgot to mention in my previous videos, when I decided to change my life 2011, I, 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 I quit drinking. Well, there was a period where I stopped drinking outdoors and I began to drink indoors um, to begin to not monitor my drinking, but balance how I drink and to drink more responsible. So I was teaching myself to drink more responsible indoors, and I will only drink in my room. There was a long period where I did that. So during 2013, I wasn't drinking. This is how I felt. This. Just looking around in nature, sitting in silence, listening to my intuition, listening to Mother Nature speak to me. So Think and Grow Riches gave me even more ambition to go after my goals and my dreams. One day I got a job interview and I went on this job interview. Then with me living with my brothers and my childhood friend, he was still living with my sisters with my sister, which was way across town. Okay? So we really didn't spend that much time together because we were so distant at first. And then he began to come around much more often. So he supported me when I went on this job interview. Ooh, these flies. So he supported me when I went on this job interview. And it was a sales position. It was a sales position that I did not qualify for. So when I got there, I got to the interview and they began to ask me personal questions about myself. I answered. Then they asked me to give a presentation of, you know, how they would give a call, like you would have to pretend as if you were selling something to them. So I did that. And I did a terrible job. So they explained to me, gave me a few techniques, you can do X, Y, and Z and things as such. I did it again and they didn't accept me. They called me back in and told me that they're not going to accept me. But I was so excited for this job because I was looking for a job that centered English speaking, that needed English speakers because I speak fluent English and English is my mother tongue. So I didn't get the job and I was very disappointed. So I got home that day and my intuition told me to call them back and ask them if I can redo the interview the following day. What made me do that is I was on a chapter in that book, Think and Grow Riches. In this chapter, they spoke about no does not always mean no. No does not mean do not try again. You understand what I'm saying? So I was coming from that standpoint, from that headspace of it was time for me to, I should probably try again. And I felt that strongly. So I called and they accepted me. He asked me, he didn't accept me right away. He asked me, he said, what would you do different? I'm sorry, guys. I'm like going through a awakening period. Yeah, so this is how I am when I go through my awakening period. So he asked me what I do different. I told him that I would study. And I did. I studied all night. That following morning, they asked me to bring a presentation, of what I would be selling, things as such, to present that to them. So I sat up all night doing this. The following day, I wrote everything down and I introduced it to my brothers. Now, one of my brothers I introduced, first of all, I was speaking about the book, Think and Grow Riches, to my brothers, right? One of the oldest told me, how the book is nothing, pretty much, how the book is nothing, how it's rubbish. How it's not true. It was just like he was downgrading what I was doing. He and I was at conflict a lot because I would tell him my goals and my dreams, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna be. And he would straight up tell me I'm not gonna be those things. I'm not gonna do that. You can't do that like that. You can't, it was just like so snappy and mean, vindictive. Like there I was with nothing, trying to find a job so I can get my life together. And every time I look up, he down talking what I'm doing, which was always positive, nothing much, nothing other than looking for a job. But he always felt it was his place to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. Then he was making a hell of a lot of money. He had a sales job as well. He was very successful. He had money, clothes, shoes, he had everything. He was very selfish. He was like my mother. You see, although I never had money, I was broke. He wanted me to need him. He literally told me that. He tried to break my spirit. He wanted me to need him. He wanted me to count on him, to depend on him. But I was not allowing that. You ready to go play on the toys? I was not allowing that. Hmm? Mm-hmm. You finish your juice? Yeah, me and him just had a moment too. This boy. He's so funny. But yeah, come on. Okay. So anyway, put it on your back. Put the teeth on your back. Okay. So anyway, I get to wait, let me remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, he was very successful. Then it's like I was down, he was up. He wanted me to depend on him. He knew I didn't have any money, but he wanted me to ask him for money. I never broke. I never did. I never got anything from him. I never asked him for anything. And he hated that. He couldn't stand that because he wanted that. He wanted to feel that type of power over me. He wanted to feel that. He wanted to feel dominant. You understand? And for myself, I wasn't having that. So although I had nothing, you see, well, let me tell you something. I taught myself how to make it when I have nothing and how to survive when I have nothing. Those experiences taught me how to survive when I had nothing because I refused to give in to what he wanted me to give into, depending on him. But he know I had no other source of income. So the most they did for me, the most I got from them, Angel, bring your teeth. So the most I got from them, it's like food and shelter. And that was okay for me. I had food. And I had shelter. And for myself, I appreciated that. I appreciated the fact that at least I had a pot to piss in. I could take a bath and I can eat. So I was okay. I was comfortable with that. So I would spend a lot of times outdoors because I didn't want to be around their energy. My other brother who lived there, he worked then in a restaurant, so he would bring food in a vegan restaurant community that the community owned. So he would bring food back, and sometimes I would eat that food as well. Here in our relationship, growing up, we were okay, I guess. Growing up, we were okay, but then during that period, it's like throughout my life, we've been okay until he introduced me to my unborn's father, knowing that person is a wicked son of a bitch. He brought him into my home. So after finding out all of the guy's secrets, who he really is, his sexual desires and fantasies and fetishes, after I found all of that out, I cut my brother off for good. He and I will no longer speak to each other ever again. Ever again. I was sleeping with my enemy. My worst nightmare, pretty much. And what makes it so bad, not only did I find all of that out, but I found out about him being married, and he never told me anything. Meanwhile, he was selling me dreams. Playing mind games, manipulating me, and things as such. It's like I felt preyed on because I met him right after the divorce. He saw, I was literally crying. He literally saw me crying about what was taking place in my life. He saw how difficult it was for me, and he preyed on that. He preyed on that. I was not in my right mind. I was going through an awakening. I didn't understand the awakening. And he preyed on that. And then he purposely gets me pregnant so that he can keep that control over me. He thought that I was going to keep on coming back and forth to him. He left. When he left, actually he didn't leave. I cut him off. When I began to pick up on the fact that I was being manipulated, it was probably like a month. Well, we had lasted for a month. And then I cut him off. And then after I cut him off, months later, I found out about, his sexual fetishes and all his dark secrets and things as such. When I wasn't even looking. That's the crazy part about it. Like, I didn't even ask my ancestors to reveal it to me. I'm like, look, something is off with this guy. Very shady. Something very dark and ugly. And I don't want anything to do with him. I cut him off. My ancestors led me to cut him off as well. So I did so. And then months later, they revealed this information to me about him. I'm just like, wow. Well, that's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all want me to do? I mean, it's nice to know. But the guy been cut off a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But they felt as if I needed to know those things so that I can properly heal from the situation itself, because there was too much hidden things that was happening that I did not know about. And I couldn't properly heal because I didn't have that understanding, a better understanding of what was taking place in my life with that particular person, because I couldn't put my finger on it. So my brother's cut off. That's that. Moving forward. So, as I mentioned, my brother had it all. Well, not all, but he had money. I mean, he was making enough. And okay, so moving forward to the job interview, back to that. So the job interview, prior to me going, I presented my presentation to my brother. And in the presentation, I was selling a story, right? Telling a story of why this water is so healthy. Why is it the best water to purchase and drink as well, and to consume as well? My brother talked so mean about that, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't care. I proceeded on. I went to the job interview that following day. And I gave the presentation. And I gave a terrible presentation. Yeah. I wasn't very good. I was not very good. I didn't do good. But they were so patient with me that they did something that they don't normally do for people. They allowed me to sit into a conversation with one of their phone representatives and listen to her conversation. Oh, I just got so excited. Ooh, my mood. Ooh. Yeah, I bought some new makeup today. I'm about to play with it. I'm sorry. I just got excited when I just thought about that. But anyway, that was totally random, I know. So they allowed me to sit into a conversation, listen to a conversation. Not only did they do that, they allowed me to do this for like 2 hours. And lucky me, there was someone from our community, someone I actually like, who was there. She had such a beautiful spirit. And she was helping me and giving me tips, what to do, what to say, how to speak to the clients or to the potential customers. And after I finished sitting with her, I did the interview again, and I didn't make it. I didn't make it, but I was so proud of myself. I will never forget how proud I was of myself for not allowing that door to, for not taking no for an answer. I was so proud of myself. And I was just so, it's like, because that's something I've never done before. And in this book, it speaks about that. You know what I'm saying? Just because doors are closing does not mean that you're not on the right path. There's a process to the journey. Before you reach your destination, there are going to be many doors that's going to be closed in your face. There's going to be many no's that's going to be told to you. But it is up to you to continue on your path. And that's what I was learning. So I was proud of myself. That gave me motivation to go to another job and happily have that door slammed on my face too. Yes. Yeah. That motivated me. It gave me so much motivation. It's like I've never done that in my entire life. I've always taken no for an answer. For a final answer. I've always accepted no as, perhaps I shouldn't do this. But this particular time, I still tried. So moving forward, my friend and I began to spend much more time together. Our friendship developed into friendship with benefits. Now, my oldest brother and him are the same age, and these two people, they are both the same age. and they are friends as well. He's a childhood friend to all of us because we all grew up in the same home for a short time period. Well, a nice amount of time. Few years, couple of years, you know. So him and my brother were friends before he and I were friends. My brother got very jealous of him. He and I hanging out together. I recently received a download as to why my brother was very jealous of that. That was the older one that was living there. I recently received a download that was very disturbing. But I didn't understand why my ancestors would keep on taking me back to that time. Sometimes when I continue to go back to a specific time period, especially now, during these times, especially when I'm having an awakening, things as such, it's because there's something there that I'm missing. So I think about that. I really analyze the situation, and then a download hit me, and that's what happened. That was yesterday. So I was being guided, continually drawn back to that time period to receive the download about the friend and my brother. Well, our relationship developed into a relationship of friends with benefits. And we were grown well, I wasn't grown, but I was young, but still I had needs. So he was the only person. So then I began to, have intercourse with him. After the person I broke my celibacy with, he was the next person after that one. And that was like 3 months later. So 3 months I was celibate before he and I continued. And I was only dealing with him during the period. Angel, don't do that. So relationship developed to friends with benefits. And we would like, we would have intercourse outdoors a lot. And it's like it didn't even matter where. It was just, for the spontaneous experience. So my brother began to be very suspicious of us and very jealous. It was literally envy. Like how you would see a woman envy another woman being with her man. It was that energy. And it's like, why is he this jealous? You know what I'm saying? So then I found out. Are they serious? They're dead ass. They do not want me to get this video out. But I'm going to go ahead and say what I have to say. Then I'm going to stop it here. And then we're going to go into the next portion of my life. The next chapter of my life where I found a job. And that was after this period of me being with this friend. Okay. So what was revealed to me yesterday in a download, my brother was because him and his friend was on the DL. Well, he's still on the DL, but him and his friend were having, they had a thing. Yeah, I was completely disgusted by that. Completely disgusted. But you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here, and then we're gonna continue next week. Monday is when I'll do my next video, my next upload. Probably on the over the weekend, probably depending on the schedule. You know, the time my kids go to take their nap. So we will pick up from there. And I'm gonna also mention the spiritual, what I was going through spiritually, because I forgot to mention that as well. Like I didn't get in depths of it because I'm currently going through a download. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of spaced out. I'm not really in the 3D right now. Like y'all see me, you hear me. I'm not really here. You understand? So with that being said, I'm gonna end it here, and we will pick up soon. I'd like to thank everyone who have taken the time out to watch my uploads. You know, I humbly thank and appreciate you. And I would also like to say before I end, when I get more in depth into my life, you all going to see how everything was connected. Every experience was connected to the next, to the other. So beautifully. Although it was even dark, so beautifully it was connected. And it all played a part. So with this being said, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And peace and light be unto you. Ashe.